What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. You guys, you know we love us some Judge Judy over here, especially when she tears into people. So we're gonna go ahead and check out Judge Judy lost it when this happened. All right.
With two stupid people who made a baby, she's going to have to get a job and say
that they can keep the dog.
The law doesn't say anything, though. That's why you're here. Cases
so you're choosing that they keep the dog.
Cases begin with Judge Judy asking questions about disputed parts of the plaintiff's complaints or some confusing facts. Gradually, the judge starts to understand what happened between the parties, but there are times when she gets furious at their actions. Before getting furious, the judge displays some understanding, but her language shows she is not excited.
Oh, my goodness. Your father let Mr. Harden move in to his house
after we started dating in 2012.
It was a good idea for him to move into your house.
The fact that the defendant moved in with the plaintiff while she was still with her parents did not make sense to Judge Judy. The judge has experienced different types of cases and people on the show, but she never allows them to go away with ridiculous facts or behaviors. Judge Judy has her method of questioning when she wants to get the point from parties, which helps her arrive at a fair judgment.
So you traded in your car as a down payment for a new car. That's what you were doing as a family. And then he left.
Yes.
Now, both cars are now in his name.
Yes.
Who was making payments on the Tundra?
I traded, or I gave it back.
Payments on it?
Yes.
The defendant explained that he owed some money on the car and also presented evidence to back the claim. Judge Judy got a complete understanding of the case and started making up her mind. When something like this happens, Judge Judy begins picking sides and makes it obvious where the judgment could swing.
Yikes.
However, she barely exercises patience to see if the other party can convince her otherwise.
To burden him not only with the $6,600, but another $5,000.
Yes.
It's not going to happen.
Despite the gravity of each case, Judge Judy shows her bias to the parties when the facts unfold, and they have a huge task of convincing her. Convincing the judge is not cumbersome. You need a good story and evidence to back it up. Apart from this, you must prove to Judge Judy that you were not gullible during the transaction and had reasons to do what you did.
That's what you should have done. You would trade in your car, and it was going to be your car, paying for that car, using your car as a trade-in.
He wasn't letting me work. He said that I would find someone with more money than he would
That's
make
your
the payment.
choice.
He wasn't letting you work.
A debt of over $6,000 on his car. The plaintiff seems unbothered because she wants to get a new car. Judge Judy does not believe the defendant should bear this burden, and that's what the plaintiff needs to convince her about.
And then he took it back.
He can't give you the Jeep unless you have the title. There's no legal theory upon which I'm going to award you $5,000.
The plaintiff's father appeared as a witness, and he explained that the defendant convinced her to trade in her car because she was going to get a new vehicle. The witness claims the defendant was going to get a new car for the plaintiff and make the payment since she was carrying his child.
You didn't say to your daughter, listen, next time, before this happens again, think with your brain. Take care of yourself. Somebody who doesn't want to work is easily coaxed not into working.
Right.
Judge Judy was already unconvinced by the plaintiff's claim, but she only needed to hear the whole story before giving a judgment. The case unfolded in favor of the defendant, who had a considerable debt to pay from trading his car, but the plaintiff could care less about that. She was hell-bent on getting a new vehicle for which the defendant would pay.
Seemed like a pretty straightforward guy. So then you say to her, you're not trading in that car.
I feel like
you have
the
to know
father's
if you let him
embarrassed.
buy a car and it's in his name, the title is in his name, you have no car anymore.
Right.
When witnesses give testimonies in Judge Judy's court, they support the party they appear with, but this does not always move the judge. Judge Judy understands that a witness would also try to absolve their party of all liabilities, which is why she does not pay much attention to their testimony. In this case, the judge already understands what happened between the parties, and hence where her judgment would go.
You weren't there, you don't know. You're hearing from your daughter with two stupid people who made a baby, and if she wants to buy a new car, she's going to have to get a job and save up to buy a car.
Judge Judy does not want the plaintiff to waste more time in her court because she already believes her claim is not worthy.
I don't know why
However,
people
the
be
plaintiff's
bringing
father,
people with her,
a
because most of the time
witness,
she
tried to
don't call
convince
them
the
up,
judge to no
and then when
avail.
she does, she
They
be
both
tearing
ended
into
up
them.
getting lessons. As part of her tradition, Judge Judy informs parties when they go wrong and gives remedies to correct themselves.
He doesn't have two cars. Goodbye, sir. You know exactly what I'm saying.
In Judge Judy's court, parties come in search of justice, but someone ends up getting on the wrong side of the judge.
All the
When
time.
this happens, she makes sure she deals with them appropriately and teaches lessons to avoid repetition. From the beginning of each case, the judge gets an idea of what the parties are about to do.
Oh, there's a
You
dog.
and your 5 children were evicted from your home.
We weren't evicted. We won against the owners. It was a slum house.
Jamie and I were wrongfully evicted out of our apartment.
I meant to say they tried to evict us, but
You
we
didn't
won,
mean
but we
to.
agreed to move out.
Just telling you what you wrote in the complaint.
Exactly. Every
Plaintiffs can
time they write the
every
wrong
necessary
thing.
detail in their complaint, but they must keep it as reasonable as possible. When a plaintiff misuses words or writes down confusing sentences different from what transpired between the parties, it leads to confusion in court.
You knew the defendants agreed to take your dog. She's going to tell me the story that I'm going to believe. The dog was in terrible condition, matted, really not in good shape.
The plaintiffs claim the defendant took their dog without their consent, but they now want to reclaim it. This looked like a simple case, but the judge needed to hear the defendant's story. Whenever a story takes this shape, it's almost certain that the defendants would entirely have a different account.
So basically I got
I don't want to hear the word basically. I want you to tell me what the dog looked like.
In Judge Judy's court, you must polish your language and learn better communication skills. The judge wants parties and witnesses to keep their statements
Sorry,
as brief
y'all.
as
Someone
possible
keeps
while
calling
giving
me.
full details. Despite the gravity of the case, the judge never allows parties to beat about the bush.
Your Honor, we lived in the same apartment complex. I began to know them through my mom.
What made you take the dog?
Well, she's in the Animal Behavior College, and she needed hands-on experience.
When you appear in Judge Judy's court, you must describe
know
every
why.
issue between you and the other party. When you do this, the judge better understands your dealings, and it becomes easier to do justice. The understanding between both parties is that the dog initially belonged to the plaintiff, but the defendant claimed they asked for permission to take it.
Did you keep the dog at your house for any particular period of time?
weekend type of.
So you kept the dog for the weekend and then you returned the dog?
Yes.
Don't say yes unless...
The case got a little confusing because the defendant claimed they returned the dog after the initial weekend sleepover, and the judge wanted to know why they still had it. The judge then asked what happened when the plaintiffs got evicted from their apartment and the dog was in the kennel. The defendant's daughter made attempts to explain that the dog could not eat or use the bathroom without her. However, she seemed to be having issues with her explanation.
He couldn't eat or use the bathroom without me being there.
What time period are you talking about? So why don't you let your mother speak?
July, and I have the receipt right here to show that they got evicted, Your Honor.
The defendant then explained that after the plaintiffs got evicted, they moved to a homeless hotel that was not pet-friendly, and they could not go along with their dog. The defendant then asked them to bring the dog to her house. The defendant complained that the dog was not in good condition when they brought it to her. The defendant also submitted receipts to show that she started getting dog supplies in July when she had the dog.
Your Honor, they came over on the 4th of July for a block party that I had and left their dog all the way up until December, buying pet supplies, beds, and everything. They came and they saw the dog. They didn't come for the
So
dog.
they left the
Plaintiff's
dog.
actions showed that they no longer cared about their pet, and the defendants had to take him in. The defendants took in the dog and cared for him for 10 months without communicating
Mama
with
is
the
not
plaintiffs.
playing.
Christine called and said, well, since we left your house, the kids has been crying. And then we went back and forth with that, back and forth. Even though they said they wanted it back, Your Honor, Thanksgiving, nothing. December, nothing. They did not come and get their dog.
It was gradually becoming evident that the plaintiffs were fighting a lost cause, and the judge understood this too. When a party wants to reclaim a pet in Judge Judy's court, it's not enough that they show ownership of the pet. In this episode, the plaintiffs have established ownership of the dog, but their actions might have them lose it in Judge Judy's court.
Right.
And the hotel was pet friendly. Put him in a kennel where there's food and other dogs.
Well, that's ridiculous. The dog looks fine. Get another dog. Get another dog.
But why?
When parties cannot give reasonable reasons for their actions, Judge Judy loses it and goes all out on them. You do not want to be on the judge's bad side when this happens because she would make it evident that you're about to lose your case. The judge does not like it when people have acted wrongly in the past but want the court to cover up for them.
Careful
They
where
still
you
don't
find.
know.
Listen to me. Are you walking with me? Your case is
Late
dismissed. We're
dismissed.
done. You're not quiet.
Parties
Dismissed.
appearing in court look forward to a judgment based on the law, but Judge Judy might end up doing this based on her own understanding. Judge Judy believes she has gathered enough experience over the years to deal with cases that come to her. However, there are times when she does not even use what the law says for her judgment, which raises issues with litigants.
10
It
months
does.
these people have taken care of that dog. 5 kids who you want to speak for never went to visit it.
Does it say that they can keep the
The
dog?
law doesn't say anything, though. That's why you're here.
So you're choosing that they keep the dog?
The law doesn't say anything. That's why they keep the dog. No, honestly though, if you're leaving your dog for supposedly you're at a pet-friendly hotel, number one, then why didn't you keep the pet with you? If that's the case, you dropped it off at these people's house and left it there. Didn't give them money to pay for food or other pet expenses. Expect them to keep this dog for months, pay for stuff for your dog, and then just give you your dog back when you're not coming to visit your dog or nothing, and then you're not even that far from them to come visit your dog. Like, you don't come bring your kids to see the dog, your kids that are crying over the dog and all of that. Please, they were making stuff up. I like that she let them let the other family that was watching the dog keep the dog, because obviously, no. Now you want your dog? No, that's not how it works. You don't just drop. No, that's like your kid. You don't just drop them off and be like, all right, now I want them back at these people's house, and you haven't been giving them money. I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments about her decision on those two cases. I thought it was funny, her comments to them on both of them. Your daughter needs to get a job. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. It helps me out in the YouTube algorithm. And also, we're on our way to 2,000 subscribers, so don't forget to check if you're subscribed. If not, go ahead and join us by hitting the subscribe button. Turn on your post notifications. And then I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, guys. Peace out.